left your Halloween costume to the last minute, like I always do each and every year, and then I panic about it. Well, if you're in that situation, our next guest can help you with so many different tips and pieces of advice when it comes to Halloween makeup, costumes, you name it. We're joined by Chantal Sarkisian. She is a makeup artist with Me to Morph. Welcome to the show. You look great. I love it. This is fantastic.
What are you talking about? This is my normal.
I love it. This is a great. As I said, I think a lot of us leave it to the last minute and then we panic and we have no idea what to do. What is it, first of all? What's the first step you should take in trying to figure out what you want to be for Halloween?
So here's my big secret.
Okay.
You know, in June when something really cool is happening and you're like, oh, that's such a good idea. Put it in your calendar. I've done that before and it saved me because I was like, oh my God, what am I going to be? Oh yeah, this. So
write it down. When you get an idea, write it down and so you have it there to remember.
Yeah, then you'll be that clever person that's like, oh yeah, I should have thought of that.
And I think once you write it down, your brain starts going, and then you can start
pieces.
Exactly.
Collect. Yeah.
So you're on schedule for Halloween.
Well, let's talk makeup because you brought in a model alongside you here. So what are you working on our model here?
So this is the Red Queen Red from the Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yes, Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
But I think it's the Red Queen.
Okay.
This is the one that we're doing.
Yes.
So I'm using it's like a dried kind of palette and it's water based. The company is Mehron, Mehron.
Okay.
So all you need is a nice kind of it's almost like a water paintbrush.
Okay.
This is specific to the paint, like the face painting brush.
Okay.
So you just dip it in some lukewarm water, and I'm gonna do her lips.
Okay. So these are now, for those who don't know, the Mehron is very popular as a like a theater costuming sort of makeup.
So this is really what the pros would use.
Yes, right. Yeah, it dries. It's so thin, you know, it doesn't cake up on your face. It washes with water. Really safe for kids. Like I do a lot of face painting for kids, parties and that sort of thing. It's a palette. I just close it up and take it with me. And then you let it dry, then you cover it and close it up.
Excellent.
Because I was going to ask you about the removal of it, because I know sometimes, you know, with some of the products that are bought for Halloween makeup, they are so tough to get off, those sensitive little faces. Yeah. So this one, just kind of like a cleanser?
You could use water.
Oh, okay.
But I like to use a face wipe, like just like a makeup wipe, because it's convenient and it doesn't get gross and dirty. But you know, you can use literally just water.
And it's probably not itchy. You know how some of those makeups, when they cake on, it gets incredibly itchy.
Yeah,
and
that's
wear that all day long, which some people do, right? They have like contests at work. We have one here at work where we encourage people to dress up. And it can just drive you crazy.
Yeah, it won't transfer on clothes and stuff. So unless it gets wet.
Okay.
But I'm really happy with this brand, and they also have there's a huge line. They have effects, you know, all that, the blood and all this stuff.
Where could you pick up?
In Ottawa, they have it at Malabar.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's very theater specific. Like when you have to get all your face, like they have a great product for. It's the similar thing, but it's like foundation tones. So I used to volunteer for theater makeup, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so even the pros have like regular style makeup, but for, you know, long-lasting effect. So I was going to ask you, Chantal, how long have you been doing the face painting for?
I started makeup about 8 years ago, and that's when I started my part-time makeup business. So I did a lot of volunteering.
That's how it is.
That's how you practice. You get better, and then that's what we're doing.
And so what led you into like the face painting and the creating? Because this takes, like we were talking about, ideas to have. Where do you get your inspirations from, and what kind of drives you to do this
this year Pinterest is huge.
Okay.
So I looked up pretty Halloween costumes, and then I saw the fawn thing, and I was like, that's pretty, it's easy, it's fun, I can kind of like do shades and highlights and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So today I did mostly makeup, and then I added like a few pieces with the face painting, and then hers is all face paint today.
Okay.
What about shopping tips? Where would you recommend people find costumes?
So here's what I found. When you buy a kit, it's actually sometimes cheaper, but it's also easier. So if you want to kind of be really creative, if you're starting ahead of time, like we said, you know, pick up key accessories and kind of invest in those key pieces, and then everything else you can, you know, use whatever's in your closet and that sort of thing.
Right.
But I usually always end up making a trip to Fabricland, some kind of dollar store. Michael's, like that's where I picked up my corns, and I had to like cut them up, and I did a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch going on. And
You can check out like
and then like
retro
Valley
shops.
Village, and then all the
Right.
different like pop-up Halloween shops that kind of come up this time of the year. Like
they're all over the
and
place.
when
see
you
the
wait last
mascots.
minute, you get your deals.
That's true.
I always home get the mascots.
Do you? I do too. I feel so sorry for them. That's why, like, hey, how are you? Waving to
And
them.
they're like,
We're going to stick around for our next segment because you've
Yeah.
got another guest along who's going to be talking hair with us on the show,
Yeah.
right? So Michelle will be back with Chantel after the break. Don't go anywhere.